Hello guys, I hope you are good, I hope you are fine. Today I'm going to tell you history of the Jewish people, where it all began. The Jewish people trace their history back to the creation of the world according to their sacred book. This is where their understanding of time and the calendar start, which is why their calendar is different from ours. According to Jewish tradition, the world was created thousands of years ago. The timeline of events is recorded in their sacred texts such as Tanaki and Torah. The data are many, so we will focus only on the most important events. Creation of the world. Jewish texts describe the creation of the universe as the beginning of history. God created the heaven and the earth. The first human, Adam and Eve, were created to live in the world. Torah, Book of Genesis, Tanaki, Hebrew Bible. The beginning of human. Adamu and Eve were the first humans. Humans were given responsibility over the world according to the Jewish text. They gained knowledge of good and evil, which brought challenges and life reasons. Torah Genesis chapter 1 to 3. Jewish commentaries in Talimuudu. Why the Jewish calendar is different? Jewish scholars counted the years from creation, not from even like Jesus' birth. This is why in the Jewish calendar, the current year is 5,786. Where in the Gregorian calendar we use today is 12,026. Their calendar reflects their historical timeline, starting with the creation, the first human, and later patriarchs like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Israel. Jewish virtual library, Jewish calendar and history. Tanaki is Genesis. The Jewish people see history starting from creation. Their calendar reflects this long time. The story of humanity's beginning is recorded in Tora and Tanaki. These events are considered true and foundational in Jewish tradition. The beginning of the Jewish people. Abraham, the first patriarch. According to Jewish tradition, Abraham is the first Jewish patriarch. He lived many generations after Adam and Eve. God made a covenant with Abraham. You will be the father of a great nation. This is the moment where Jewish identity began, because Abraham and his family followed God's law and teaching, setting them apart as a chosen people. Tanaki or Genesis chapter 12 to 25. Torah Genesis Bereshit. Abraham moved from his homeland to Canaan, following God's guidance. His faith and obedience became the model for Jewish people. Isaac. The promise continues. Isaac is Abraham's son, born as part of the covenant promise. He continued the line of Abraham and maintained the covenant. Isaac's story included challenges showing that the Jewish people's faith and survival are tied to obedience to God. Genesis 21:55. Jacob, Israel, the founder of the tribes. Jacob, later called Israel, is Isaac's son. He had 12 sons who became the 12 tribes of Israel. This is where the Jewish people as a nation really start to form. Genesis or Torah 25-50. The 12 sons is 12 tribes. The family moved to Egypt due to famine. This begins the story of Exodus. Jewish identity is connected to family, lineage, and covenant. Why this is matter today? Jewish calendar count years from creation and from these patriarchs. Their history shows a continuous reign of faith and identity. The stories of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob explain why Jews see themselves as a people chosen for a special purpose. Jewish virtual library history of the patriarchs. This is the book. You can find it for Google Play Store. Is it a Jewish virtual library history of them? Abraham, father of the Jewish people, faced to make the covenant with the God. Continue. Isaac, the covenant keeping the promise alive. Jacob, Israel, father of the 12 tribes, foundation of Jewish nation. These events are recorded in Torah and Tanaki and explain their calendar and identity. Part 3. The Exodus and the giving of the Torah. Life in Egypt, the beginning of hardship. After Jacob and his 12 sons moved to Egypt, their descendants grew in number. Over time, they became enslaved by the Egyptians. Jewish tradition explained that this period of slavery shaped their identity and faith. Torah or Genesis 36 to Exodus 1 verse 1. Tanaki. The Israelites were a distinct people even in Egypt. Their faith in God remained strong despite oppression. Moses, the reader. Moses was born during this period and chosen by God to lead the Israelites out of slavery. He performed miracles, confronted Pharaoh, and guided his people. Moses' leadership is central to Jewish history. The Exodus shows faith, perseverance, and obedience to God. The giving of the Torah. After leaving Egypt, the Israelites arrived at Mount Sinai. Here God gave Moses the Torah, which contains moral laws, religious commandments, guidelines for their life. Torah or Exodus chapter 19 to 20. Vaikra, Deuteronomy, Devarim. Talmud explanation of law. That's a book they call Talimuudu. You can find it to Google Play Store. This is the moment to Israelites become a nation bound by law and covenant. The Torah is still central to Jewish life today. Many laws and holidays are based on these events. Why this is matter for calendar and identity? Shabbat, weekly day of rest, start from Exodus event. Jewish holidays such as Passover, Pesach, commemorate the Exodus. Their calendar counts years from creation and important events, connecting history and faith. Jewish virtual library. You can have the things you can find it on that book I told you, and also Torah or Tanakh. That's a book. That's many books you can use to know their traditional, their stories. Yeah. Life in Egypt shaped the Israelites' identity. Moses read the Exodus, showing faith and leadership. Torah was given at Mount Sinai, forming the basis of Jewish law and nationhood. Calendar, holidays, and identity are all connected to these events. Part 4. The Kingdom of Israel and the Diaspora. The first kings Saul, David, and Solomon. After the Israelites settled in Canaan, they requested a king to lead them like other nations. Saul became the first king, followed by David and Solomon. And that book you can find this is Torah, historic books in Tanakh. I told you many books you can search to Google Play Store. King David united the tribes and established Jerusalem and as the capital. King Solomon built the first temple. Their reigns represent the heifer of the United Kingdom of Israel. Division of the kingdom. After Solomon died, the kingdom split into Northern Kingdom, Israel, Southern Kingdom, Judah. The split led to political instability. Prophet warned the people about faithfulness to God. Because of the disobedience and the invasion by Assyria and the Babylonians, many Jews were exiled from their land. This period marks the beginning of the Jewish diaspora, the spreading of Jews across the world. Despite being away from their homeland, Jewish people maintained their faith, tradition, and laws. This is why the Jewish calendar, rituals, and identity remained strong. Prophets and scholars preserved the history in Tanaki and commentaries. Jews, why this matter today? The calendar reflects creation, patriarchs, and the monarchy. Jewish identity is rooted in faithfulness to God, lineage from Abraham to David, preservation of law and tradition even in exile, holidays, ritual, and the law connected the past even to modern life. Also, these things you can find it on that books I told you. Solomon, First Kings, and David, First Kings of Israel. Division into northern and southern kingdom led to instability, exile, and diaspora spread Jews across the world. Calendar, holidays, and law preserved history and identity. Part 5. Important part 5. Why many Jews did not accept Jesus. Messiah expectations. According to Jewish text and tradition, the Jews were waiting for a Messiah. This Messiah was expected to restore the kingdom of Israel, bring peace, justice, and return from exile, from the law of Torah strictly. The Messiah was expected to be a political and spiritual leader, not a divine figure. This expectation is deeply rooted in Jewish law and history. Why many Jews did not accept Jesus? Did not fulfill the traditional Messiah criteria. According to Tanakh, the Messiah would rebuild the temple in Jerusalem, bring all Jews back to Israel, establish universal peace. Jesus did not accomplish this in his lifetime. Claiming divinity, Jewish law strictly prohibits worshipping anyone as God. According to Talmud and the commentaries, human cannot be God. This word you can find it in the book Talimuudu, Sanhedrin 99a, or Jewish law, or Halakha. That's names of the book. Talmud or halakha or Jewish law. Difference is the interpretation of Torah. Jesus taught the some interpretations some Jews saw as contracting Torah law. This created disagreement with the Pharisees. Many Jews did not accept Jesus because he did not fulfill the expected Messiah mission. He claimed divinity which Jewish law forbids. His teaching way is different from traditional Torah law. These reasons are documented in their own text. Tanaki, prophet describing the Messiah, or Talimuudu, laws and commentary. Jewish commentaries, interpretation and expectations. Part 6. The expected Messiah and why Jesus did not fit. What did the Jewish books say about the Messiah? The Jewish people expected a Messiah who would restore the kingdom of Israel to full glory, rebuild the temple in Jerusalem, gather all Jews from their diaspora back to their homeland, establish universal peace, ending war and suffering, follow Torah completely and after the Jewish law. Why many Jews expected it? Messiah should be human leader, not divine. He should be a king and warrior, restoring Israel politically. He should bring peace and justice on earth, not only spiritual salvation. He should perfectly obey Torah. These things you can find it in Isaiah chapter 11 verse 1 to 10 verse 10, or Micah chapter 4 verse 1 to verse 4. Jewish rebellion or Messiah in Jewish thought. The Messiah is a real world deliverer, someone who fixes the political and social state of the Jewish people. Why Jesus didn't meet these expectations? According to Jewish text, he did not rebuild the temple. The temple in Jerusalem was still destroyed after his lifetime. Messiah was expected to restore it for. Did not gather all Jews from the diaspora. Jews remained scattered across the world. The prophets expected complete return to Israel. Did not bring universal peace. War and suffering continued in Israel and surrounding land. Jewish expectation was an era of peace on earth. Claimed divinity to accept by Torah law. Jewish law, halakha forbids worshipping human as God. Messiah was expected to be human, not divine. Did not follow Torah according to their interpretation. Some teachings were seen as interpreting or altering Jewish law. According to Jewish text, the Messiah must fulfill very specific criteria. Jesus did not fulfill these requirements. Political restoration of Israel, rebuilding the temple, gathering of Jews from diaspora, establishing universal peace, strict adherence to Torah. This is why many Jews did not recognize him as the Messiah. There is a reason directly from Jewish book to opinion. Part 7. Synthesis, history, Messiah, and reasons. Created of the world according to Tora and Tanaki, Human was created, life began, and time was counted. Patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Israel, or Jacob is the one who's Israel, formed the Jewish people following God's covenant. Exodus and Torah. Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, and God gave them the Torah, forming the law, ritual, and identity of the nation. King and diaspora. Saul, David, Solomon united Israel, then the kingdom split, leading the exile and the Jewish diaspora. Messianic expectation. Jews awaited the Messiah who would restore Israel, rebuild the temple, gather all Jews bring peace and fulfill Torah. These things you can find it in Genesis or Tanakh books. There is another book. Is it Bereshit and Shemot? Yeah, or Talmud. Why Jesus was not accepted? Did not fulfill the expected Messiah mission. Did not build the temple. Calendar different. Jewish calendar count years from creation and history events like Exodus, Patriarchs. This is why the current Jewish year is 5786, with the Gregorian calendar is 2026. Their calendar is a lunar solar combining moon, month, and solar year, so holidays and months do not exactly match ours. This reflects their history and the religious rhythm, linking time to sacred events. So if you want to know their calendar, is it a Jewish calendar or Hebrew calendar? Yeah. History teaches that identity, faith, and the tradition are important. We should respect and understand the reason behind belief and calendar. Just as Jews follow their sacred book, we should trust and learn from the knowledge we had gained today. Faith and understanding go hand in hand. Knowing history, law, and traditions help us make sense of the world and our own practice. The Jewish people history spans from creation to diaspora, preserving faith, law, and identity. Messiah expectations explain why many did not accept Jesus. Calendar differences reflect historical counting and the sacred event. Our takeaway: trust what we have learned, understand history, and apply it to our lives. If you found this helpful, please subscribe, share, and comment on my channel, the Kuzuba Mirror. So, I am Kuzuba Diana, and I want to remind everyone, trust that you were created you, and pray to the one who created you, not anyone else. Thank you so much for listening, and we will continue learning history and truth every day.